Now it's time to get the data from our local storage. And this 240 are stored, but if you just reload, it returns to 0. But 240 are still in the local storage, and I'm gonna show you how to get those 240. So inside our local storage documentations, this was the first thing to store the data. Now it's time to learn how to read the data. And to get the data, an async function as well, just copy it. And let's go to our code. And this is our first function, store data. And this is our second function, read data. And inside this second function, we're gonna paste the code here. And this third function for adding expenses. Okay. Now to read the data, which data we need to read? We need to read this total expenses, because this number here, the 240 are stored in this total expenses key. So let's just copy it and paste it here, easily as this. And you can log here the value. So let's remove this comment and try to console.log the value. Let's give it a name, value from local storage total expenses equals to this value. Okay, let's add comma here. Okay, now let's try to call this function. So we're gonna use effect hook. Use effect hook. We're gonna run it at the first time when we open the app. We're gonna just call this function, and let's call it and look at the log. So if you go to log here, look what we got. Values from local storage total expenses equals to 240. Now let's just easily set the state to this value. So let's go up here and set total expenses to here when we get the value, and set it with the value. And press save, and let's go to our app. Look, we got here 240. But why this argue here? I'm gonna show you. Look, when you increase, look what happens. You're gonna increase 10 as a string. And this is totally wrong. Why? Because when you store the 240 number to local storage, you convert it to string. And in JavaScript, if you make it 10 plus 10 as numbers like this, he's gonna return 20. But if you just add a 10 plus 10 as a string, he's gonna return like this, 1010, because he add them together. So you need to make this number, not string. So to convert type from a string to number in JavaScript, you can easily add this plus here. This plus here convert the string to number. Now let's press save and try to test again. Now when you increase, look, you increase, the item has been increased by 10. If you look here, just only by 10. And now this number is stored in our local storage. So if you just reload the app, remember this number that ends with 300. When we reload the app, look, it's still the same number, because this number is stored in the local storage, and this number is not gonna be gone until you remove the app or clear the data of the app. Now you've learned how to read data. It's time to learn how to remove data.